Well, what do we have here? Is that another shitty ending to a WWE pay-per-view? I think that's another shitty ending to a WWE pay-per-view. That is three pay-per-views in a row. I don't count Super Letdown or Super whatever, but Money in the Bank, Stomping Grounds, Extreme Rules. But what do you mean it was a terrible pay-per-view ending? Oh, I don't know. Brock Lesnar coming out to cash in his Money in the Bank, and any other opportunity, any other outcome other than him failing to cash in would have been a shitty way to end this pay-per-view. And lo and behold, they found a way to make this pay-per-view worse than it already was. When people are saying The Undertaker and Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre and Shane McMahon is one of, if not the best match of the night, there's a goddamn problem. Big problem. You had so much that you could have did with this show, and then you had that main event, and then you had the after the main event. This show should have been better than it was, but it wasn't. This is just WWE showing that anybody who sat there and said, "Oh, there's going to be change. Monday Night Raw 2 weeks ago was one of the best shows ever." You are out of your fucking mind. This show was absolute garbage. Especially the ending. I saw someone put that this was an 8.5 out of 10. You are on fucking drugs, man. You are on drugs. This show was not an 8.5 out of 10. This show was absolute horrendous garbage. Having Brock Lesnar come back made this show even worse than it already was. And again, shows you there is never going to be change. On top of that, like 24 hours ago when Fight for the Fallen was ending, we had 10 matches. 10 matches named. We get to a couple hours before this pay-per-view, and we had 2 more matches thrown in. The Intercontinental Championship match, Shinsuke Nakamura versus Finn Balor, which was put on the pre-show, and Kevin Owens, Dolph Ziggler on the main show. And we'll get to that Dolph Ziggler and Kevin Owens match because, quite honestly, we've been talking about Burial with Mike Kanellis recently. That was a burial tonight for Dolph Ziggler, and I think it's the last time we need to see Dolph Ziggler ever. Show started off on the pre-show with Shinsuke Nakamura versus Finn Balor. Why this match was happening on the pre-show is kind of disrespectful to both of these guys and the Intercontinental title. This match, of course, is happening because of what happened on Tuesday with Shinsuke Nakamura beating Finn Balor pretty much dominantly on SmackDown this past Tuesday. Now, this match was not bad, but it wasn't good. This match felt rushed. This match because it was on the pre-show, and it was only one of 2 matches on the pre-show. This match was going to feel rushed as it was. No Demon Pain usually means Finn Balor is going to be taking the L. Finn Balor ends up losing this match with a Kinshasa after missing the coup de grace, knee to the back of the head, Kinshasa, 1, 2, 3, and Nakamura has won his second secondary title in WWE. He's not allowed to win the WWE Championship, but he can win the US title and the Intercontinental title. Well, if this gives him more TV time and gets him a little bit of a push, then fine. But the fact that Shinsuke Nakamura has been absent since WrestleMania up until 2 weeks ago, the Tuesday after Stomping Grounds, to ping that he wants to be Intercontinental Champion, just makes no sense why you're going to have Finn Balor, who hasn't had a good title reign anyway, wins the title back from Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania, who defended at Money in the Bank. I think, no, he didn't even defend it at Money in the Bank. He was in the Money in the Bank ladder match, defended at Super Showdown, but in between Money in the Bank and this pay-per-view and this past Tuesday, Finn Balor has only made 2 appearances on WWE television. Super Showdown, and then, of course, 2 weeks ago, and then, of course, he had the match last week. So, Finn Balor, between WrestleMania, between Money in the Bank and tonight, this is his only 4th appearance in 2 months. That's not good. Not even using the wildcard rule or anything. Shinsuke Nakamura, again, who has been absent since Mania, is your new champion. Biggest problem with this match, and also a thing when it comes to Cesaro and Aleister Black, is that there was no fucking build at all. He just goes in, beats him on Tuesday, and he's your Intercontinental Champion on Sunday. Then we had Drew Gulak versus Tony Nese for the Cruiserweight Championship. This is a rematch of sorts from Stomping Grounds, where Drew Gulak beat Akira Tozawa to win Tony Nese's Cruiserweight Championship. These two, just for some reason, I know these, like, Drew Gulak is great. He's improving, and he is just becoming one of the best guys on NXT or at Evolve last night, which I have not seen yet, or anywhere. This guy is doing some great stuff. But Tony Nese and Drew Gulak, it didn't feel like this. Like, it was just, like, they just meshed together. They didn't. It just felt like they were off. Something was wrong with the match. I don't know what it was. It just felt like this match just did not click on all cylinders like you hoped it would. There's a point in the match where you have Drew Gulak hanging like this on the outside, on the middle rope, which I hate that fucking spot, whether it's in the ring or outside the ring. And Tony Nese goes to do a backflip and almost misses Drew Gulak. It was a bad looking spot. Gulak ends up hitting the Cyclone Clash to beat Tony Nese and retain the Cruiserweight Championship. Then we get to the main card. You have the match starting off with The Undertaker and Roman Reigns versus Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre. This match, of course, started off with with Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns, and you figured these two would wrestle the majority of this match for the simple fact is they are half the age, practically, of Shane McMahon and The Undertaker. The Undertaker is 54 years old. I believe Shane is 51 to 53 years old. They should not be wrestling much in this match. I will say that The Undertaker was the most over person in the entire building tonight at the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Yes, this thing looked a lot more fuller than what we saw at Stomping Grounds. I kind of expected that because it was Philadelphia. I will say, outside The Undertaker, this show had almost zero reaction. The fans did not seem to care much about this show. The Undertaker, I feel, was the biggest pop of the night, the biggest reaction of the night. Not even AJ Styles, Ricochet, Bayley, or the Usos got a big enough reaction. Shane McMahon came out to almost no reaction whatsoever. Like Shane, and it's fitting that we go, and we went, and the opening video package took about 10-15 minutes to even get done. Shane McMahon's entrance happened. All these entrances happened. And The Undertaker, of course, took forever because he's The Undertaker and he's doing his dead man gimmick still. Then the match did not fully start until 20 after. So Extreme Rules 2019 did not have a match for the first 20 minutes of the pay-per-view. That's terrible. Let's see here. We had a coast to coast. We had a elbow through the table. Roman Reigns got Claymore kicked over the barricade. Elias came out and attacked Undertaker from behind. That led to the elbow through the announce table and the coast to coast. This match was billed as no holds barred, and 80% of this match was a standard tag team match. This match was tame as can be, and people were saying this was one of the best matches of the night. So that's pretty bad. Undertaker ends up getting Shane McMahon gets left alone in the ring after Roman Reigns gets back up. He grounds Shane, says something to him, and tosses him to The Undertaker. And it looked like The Undertaker was going to try and lift him up into a tombstone, but had to pull him back down because if not, he probably would have fucking dropped Shane McMahon on his head. Gets him up, tombstone, 1, 2, 3, and that was it for this match. I'm hoping and praying that this is the last time we see Shane McMahon on WWE television for a while. But with a promo Kevin Owens cuts later in the show, I'm pretty sure that is not the case. We have the Usos versus the Revival, but before we get to that match, we had an advertisement for next week's Monday Night Raw. Next week's Raw, for whatever reason, in Tampa, Florida, is going to be billed as Raw Reunion. Reunion of what? Reunion of what? This isn't Raw 25 last year, where you celebrated 25 years of Monday Night Raw. What is the Raw reunion even celebrating? It's like, a Raw reunion would be like if The Undertaker and Kane, haven't been wrestling for a while, came back to form a reunion on that show. You're going to see Hulk Hogan, you're going to see Triple H, you're going to see Shawn Michaels, you're going to see Ric Flair, Christian, Devon Dudley, and so many other ones. And I'm like, this is desperation. This is absolute desperation by WWE. Your ratings start sinking in the toilet, and Vince McMahon's like, oh, we'll get all these legends out there. This is everything wrong with WWE. I know we have Christian Miracle who does WWE sins, and you have the cinema sins, you have the gaming sins, you have TV sins, whatever. There should be a video of every day of everything wrong with WWE. This is it. Having a Raw reunion. You're trying to keep your teenage demographic, you know, the 15 to 21-year-olds. You're trying to keep those guys from jumping ship to AEW. So bringing back Shawn Michaels, bringing back Ric Flair, bringing back Devon Dudley, bringing back Christian, and anybody else, the Hurricane, if he wants to be there. Hulk Hogan. Oh yeah, that appeals to teenagers. Give me a fucking break. AEW put on a great fucking show the night before at Fight for the Fallen, which was operated at a loss because all the profits went to the victims of gun violence. But they put on a hell of a show, and then you give us this mockery, and then you go, oh, by the way, next week we're going to have a reunion show. Fuck WWE, you're desperate as fuck. Usos vs. The Revival, in my opinion, was a good match, but not a great match. I think these two could do a lot better. I would love to see these guys in a ladder match at SummerSlam for the tag team titles. Usos win this, Revival win this match via a Shatter Machine. These two teams worked really well together. There was a spot in the match where we had the blind tag spot by the baby faces where the referee says, no, you didn't tag in, I didn't see it. And you have the Revival pulling the other Uso over and beating him down, and then I think it was Scott Dawson who just like lays down beside him and like just acts dead when the referee turns around and make it look like, hey, it was just a funny spot. But yeah, Shadow Machine to, I believe it is Jimmy for the 1, 2, 3, and the Revival retain the tag team titles. I would say about, if you want to rate it on a best of 5, I'd say it was a 3.5 out of 5 match. Aleister Black versus Cesaro. This match should have and could have been better. I want to say is Philadelphia did not bring their best tonight. And this match did suffer for the fact that you had Aleister Black and Cesaro giving you a pretty good match. But with the fact that this match had not been built properly, and you just threw Cesaro out there on Tuesday to be like, hey, I was the one to pick a fight with you. I want to pick a fight with you, and I'm going to see you at Extreme Rules. Instead of waiting till tonight to give us some intrigue. And the reason they did that, and I know exactly why they decided we're going to have Cesaro reveal himself on Tuesday, because they knew coming into Philadelphia, if it wasn't somebody huge, it was going to go over like a wet fart. Pretty badly. So, yeah. Aleister Black goes for Black Mass immediately, but nothing. The match does end after a crossface sharpshooter into a crossface. We get a This Is Awesome chant. They battle around a little bit more. Black Mass out of nowhere. 1, 2, 3, and Aleister Black is your winner. I'd give this one another 3.5 out of 5 if you wanted to talk about it that way. Just because the crowd is everything in a match. If the crowd is hot, if the crowd is wild, if the crowd is crazy, go watch Fight for the Fallen. Yes, they were in an amphitheater. But the crowd, you could tell at the beginning of the show, they were hot, as in they were loud and crazy. When they got to the end of the show, the crowd kind of died off. But when you're watching like SCU versus the Lucha Bros and the crowd is going fucking nuts for that entire goddamn match, that helps elevate the match. This match, just, if the crowd would have been more into it, the crowd would have been more invested into it, if they would have built this match some more before we got to this show, I think this match would have been a lot better well received. It's the fact that for weeks, months, we just have Aleister Black sitting in his chair going, I want someone to be a man and pick a fight. Me. This didn't help anything. If Aleister Black would have went after somebody and pick a fight with them, building to Extreme Rules, I think this match would have been better well received, would have had a higher pop for the crowd. The crowd did seem to get into it the further we got into the match. So it's not like the crowd wasn't respectful for what these guys did. It's just like from the start until about the tail end of this match, the crowd really didn't seem to care. R-Truth and Carmella backstage looking for Drake Maverick. I really don't care. Montez Ford and and Angelo Dawkins of the Street Profits come out and just, I don't know what they're doing with the Street Profits, but I'm not happy about it. I don't know what they're doing with them. I hope we get to see the Street Profits in matches soon, or put them back in NXT and leave them in NXT. The Ricochet getting a push and the Street Profits being on TV is supposed to be their way to appeal to a younger audience. After tonight, all that is just thrown out the fucking window. 2-on-1 handicap match, Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross versus Bayley for the SmackDown Live Women's Championship. No Sasha Banks anywhere, no high, no hair, no nothing of her. Bayley, of course, gets beat down for the majority of this match, gets a big comeback, and ends up winning with after knees to Alexa Bliss on the Twisted Bliss, tags in Nikki Cross. Nikki Cross gets let's see here. Cross tags in, goes back to the top. Bayley hits the knees in midair. Bayley goes to the top, hits a flying elbow after she sets Cross in the middle of the ring for the 1, 2, 3, and Bayley is still your SmackDown Live Women's Champion. No Sasha Banks, no Alexa Bliss turning on Nikki Cross. That's probably going to either be tomorrow or later on the way to SummerSlam. I fully expect to see Nikki Cross versus Alexa Bliss at SummerSlam. Let's see. Last man standing match, Braun Strowman versus Bobby Lashley. This match was fucking boring. This match got holy shit chance that did not deserve. It did not deserve. You have Braun Strowman up in the concourse. They're up in the concourse, which, by the way, they're fighting up these steps. And before you get into the concourse, they had the camera there. Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley are fighting, and then they just disappear. And the camera is fixated on where they went. They were fixated on where they went. For it felt like 5 minutes. And then like, oh shit, we gotta get a camera out there. Instead of having a camera, it's like, you should have a camera waiting there, so when they go out of camera, you can switch to that camera, but they didn't do that. But they get up there, and Braun Strowman grabs Bobby Lashley and tosses him into the concession stand where you go and buy your t-shirts. And people are chanting, holy shit, and I'm like, that's not a holy shit moment. That is not a holy shit moment. What the fuck are you talking about? So, that was the first one. Then we get back down to the ring. We go around to where the announcers row is, where you see the Chinese, and all those commentators are. And Braun Strowman picks up Lashley and throws him through over one of those tables. And then we get another holy shit moment. And I'm like, that is not a holy shit moment. Where are these holy shit moments coming from? Because that's not holy shit. That is like, oh, okay, that's interesting. That's stupid. Then we have one of the entranceways that you would have down below to get when you're downstairs to the arena area, blocked off by a big box. It's by a big box. A thin fucking wood and a bunch of crash pads probably in there. They come up above it. There's a gateway there, and Braun Strowman kicks that open. Picks Bobby Lashley up and power slams him through it. Like giving you the illusion that they went crashing down and then they're killing each other. Or Braun Strowman then they're killed Bobby Lashley. That gets a holy shit and ECW moment, which, okay, that's okay, I'll give you that one, I guess. But Braun Strowman then, while the referees count, he gets to 7. Braun Strowman breaks through the breakable wood, and the ref goes 7, 8, 9, 10, like really fast, and ends the match. So Braun Strowman wins a match that was boring as fuck. Can we end this shit? This has got to be it. That's a blow-off. That is a blow-off that if I have ever seen one. I don't want to see Braun Strowman versus Bobby Lashley at SummerSlam. I don't want to see it tomorrow. I don't want to see it during Reunion. I don't want to see it ever again. Moving on here. Kelly Cruz is backstage with the club. AJ Styles, Luke Gallows, and Carl Anderson. Styles says it's wrong to say he reunited Gallows and Anderson just because he lost to Ricochet. Styles says they're more than his brothers, and this has nothing to do with Ricochet, who is just the first of many. Styles says he won't take anything away from Ricochet because he will be a huge star one day in WWE. And you had a chance tonight to make him a bigger star, but WWE failed, and we'll get to that later. But he will take the United States title from him, and it will be too sweet. They get the too sweet going on. He's like, come on, Charlie, get your arm up there. She goes to do it, and he's like, ha, I'm just kidding, and runs off. And they walk off laughing. Triple threat tag team title match, Heavy Machinery versus The New Day versus Daniel Bryan and Rowan. This match was frustrating. Tucker and Otis are a team that had a chance to get a star-making moment tonight. Give these guys the tag team titles and you got yourself a new set of stars for SmackDown Live. What does WWE do? We're going to start we have a clean slate tomorrow. Raw and SmackDown are going to be a clean slate. Vince McMahon is going to give the reins to Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff. Bullshit! Tonight proved it for 3 things. This match, Ricochet versus AJ Styles, and the end of the fucking show told you that was nothing but a crock of lies. So you had three options. The Equal Warriors retaining, Heavy Machinery winning, or the New Day winning their 6th title reign. What do you think happened? Midnight Hour to Daniel Bryan and the New Day are your 6th-time tag team champions. This just proves that this company will never learn, this company refuses to make new stars, and this company is run by Vince McMahon, and he is only going to give his favorites championships. There was no reason to give the New Day the tag team titles tonight. Heavy Machinery should have walked out tag team champions, or you should have kept them on Daniel Bryan and Rowan. The New Day should have been the ones to take the pinfall in this fucking match. You go to stage, and out comes Paul Heyman, and the ECW chant starts up. Heyman mentions Brock Lesnar as being soon-to-be champion. Heyman says he is from Philly. He is the concept of Extreme, and he will be damned if he leaves Philly on an Extreme show without being part of history. Heyman says he has a spoiler. Lesnar will cash in his Money in the Bank title shot on the WWE Champion or Universal Champion tonight. And Heyman then asks if he's really telling the truth or if he's just being Paul Heyman. Tosses the mic and walks off as fans booze. The teaser. Cole says Heyman's riddle on Lesnar is cashing in continue here tonight. So, as I already talked about, obviously it was going to happen. Excuse me if I'm going to sit there and actually believe Paul Heyman after 5 bait and switches in a row. 5 times in 4 weeks. You had 4 Monday Night Raws where, with like 4 Monday Night Raws, or I think it was 4 in 3 weeks, my bad. You had 3 or 4 Monday Night Raws where Brock Lesnar looked like he was going to cash in, but he didn't. And then we got the Super Showdown, and he still didn't cash in. You had to do it tonight, didn't you, Vince? Had to do it tonight. AJ Styles versus Ricochet United States Championship match. These two, I would love to see again, but in a singles match on pay-per-view at SummerSlam without the championship, without Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson involved. This match, before the match even started, Anderson and Gallows beat down Ricochet a little bit to give AJ Styles an advantage. AJ Styles got him off of them, and he's just smiling like, that's my boys. This match was about 15 minutes or so, and it came down to Gallows pushes Ricochet from the top as the referee was distracted, leaving him hung up upside down in the corner. Styles up top hits the Styles Clash in the corner for the 1, 2, 3. So he is a 3-time U.S. champion. Instead of keeping Ricochet as champion, building up this guy who could be a fucking star. But no. Oh, it's not Roman Reigns. I'm not going to push the motherfucker. This is why people are getting sick and tired of WWE. You give a championship to a new guy, looks like he's going to get himself a good championship opportunity to be a long-term champion, and you take the title off of him 3 fucking weeks later. This was a chance to take Ricochet from here to here. Instead, Ricochet goes from here to here. Below, like he's not even on the lap anymore. No more automatic rematches, so Ricochet versus AJ Styles is done. Ricochet lost the feud. Someone's like, oh, I'm sure Ricochet's not done with with AJ Styles. Yeah, he is. That was it. Ricochet's done. He's off. He's gone. This was a chance to give it Ricochet. AJ Styles is like Teflon. He's not going nowhere. He could have lost tonight, and he would have been fine. I was expecting, before what happened tonight at the end of the show, that Ricochet was going to win. AJ and the club were going to set their sights on Seth Rollins, and we were going to get heel AJ Styles versus Seth Rollins at SummerSlam, but we didn't get that, did we? No. We got AJ Styles, a 3-time U.S. champion. This company will never fucking learn. That's strike 2. Dolph Ziggler versus Kevin Owens. This was short and not sweet. 20 seconds. They argue a little bit in the middle of the ring. Kevin Owens gets slapped by Dolph Ziggler. Stunner, 1, 2, 3, and that was the match. I am not kidding. This match was supposed to be on SmackDown Live on Tuesday. What makes you think it deserved to be on Extreme Rules and be 20 seconds long? That's a burial if I've ever seen one. Get Dolph Ziggler off my fucking television. Go back to your comedy tour and stay the fuck out of WWE. We didn't need you before WrestleMania, we didn't need you after WrestleMania, and we don't need you after Extreme Rules. Go the fuck away, doll. You're useless. So Owens takes the mic and says he can speak now that Shane isn't here to cut his mic off. Says he still stands for everything he said in his anti-Shane promo on Tuesday. Owens says he expected to get fired or suspended when he showed up tonight, and that probably would have happened if Shane didn't have to deal with The Undertaker earlier on. Owens says after the tombstone Shane took, he speaks for everyone else when he says Shane can kiss his ass and go straight to hell. And that's that. This tells me that we have not seen the last of Shane McMahon, unfucking-fortunately. Charlie Crusoe's backstage with Samoa Joe, talks about ending Kofi's unexceptional title reign and ending the dream of the New Day holding titles together. Joe versus Kofi, WWE Championship match. If anybody thought Samoa Joe was winning this match, you are a fool. I don't know what to tell you, but you are a goddamn fool. This match... And this is the sad part. Samoa Joe dominated Kofi Kingston the majority of this match. Kofi got his ass kicked from pillar to post, left to right, up and down. Samoa Joe should have been the champion coming out of this show. But Joe bounces off the rope, and Kofi Kingston hits the Trouble in Paradise. 1, 2, 3. Still your WWE champion. I will say that I am not mad at the fact that Kofi Kingston's Trouble in Paradise is still a protected move, but you kind of just wasted our time with this show, with this match. Why put Samoa Joe in this position if he wasn't going to fucking win? I'm tired of seeing Joe, a bona fide killer. This guy should be out there winning championship after championship after championship. Should have beat Brock Lesnar of Great Balls of Fire. Should have beat AJ Styles last year multiple times when he wrestled him. Should have won tonight. Samoa Joe should be WWE champion. Not once, not twice, but 3 times already. How many times he's had a chance at a championship? No Brock Lesnar in this time. No Brock Lesnar at all. Winner take all. Baron Corbin, Lacey Evans versus Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. This match was cringe. This match, let's put it this way. I will never doubt Becky Lynch's toughness again. She took a end of days towards the end of this match that really looked fucking brutal. My dad's like, oh, that shouldn't have happened. That's wrong. The sponsor's going to be... I didn't mind it at all. You just saw Tessa Blanchard and Sami Callihan go through an intergender match at Slammiversary last fucking weekend. Yes, 2 different companies. Guess what? Impact Wrestling's evolving their company. They're evolving with the times. Intergender wrestling is not taboo anymore. Intergender wrestling can happen. I was not mad about that spot. It was just like Nia Jax taking the RKO 619 and super kick in the Royal Rumble this past January. I'm not mad about it. It was absolutely fucking fine. But we had kendo stick shots. Lacey Evans had Seth's name S-E on one cheek and T-H on another cheek. She made her entrance and she bent over and the cameras just zoomed in on her ass. And I'm like, this is 2019. I do not need to see a woman's close-up ass shot on WWE television. I'll go look up some adult websites if I want to do that shit. I don't need to see it on my television while I'm watching a WWE pay-per-view. Like I said, chair shots, we had 2 tables, we had a frog splash to Baron Corbin, which was absolutely beautiful from Seth Rollins. A leg drop from second turnbuckle to the outside onto Lacey Evans from Becky Lynch. And again, end the days to... Becky Lynch pissed off Seth Rollins to no degree. He beats the hell out of Baron Corbin with kendo sticks, several chair shots. Rollins snaps and hits a stomp on Corbin. Evans is like, you know what? I'm out. I'm sorry. I'm out. And she whacks the fuck out of there. Stomp, stomp, stomp. 1, 2, 3. Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch retain their titles. That is it for Lacey Evans. That is it for Baron Corbin. However, as we stated, out comes Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship. 2 German suplexes. Cashes in. Brock Lesnar looks down at Rollins. The bell rings. Grabs him. Drops him with the F5. 1, 2, 3. Brock Lesnar is your Universal Champion again. And just like that, those ratings tomorrow are going to fucking falter out. Same old shit, different day. Anybody who sat there when they announced that Bischoff and Paul Heyman were going to become the directors of Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live respectively, you have got to look like a fucking fool now. Anybody from not last week but the week before that is like, oh, this feels fresh, this feels new, this feels like a good fucking show. You must feel like a fucking idiot. We have the Heyman era ushering in tomorrow. And what do we have? Brock Lesnar is a Universal Champion who probably won't even be on the fucking show tomorrow. This is absolute fucking ridiculousness. Which tells me that for the next 6 months, it's going to be Baron Corbin versus Seth fucking Rollins. Nothing's going to fucking change. And if you're that fucking stupid, I don't know what to fucking tell you. Extreme Rules, below average show. This show could have been so much better, and then you ruin anything that was good about this show out the fucking window. This show was absolutely fucking garbage. To lead to that, and this is a clean slate. It is 1:38 in the morning as I'm recording this. A clean slate officially now. Bullshit. Absolute fucking bullshit. As long as Brock Lesnar is a part of this fucking company and is winning championships, there is never going to be a fucking clean slate for this goddamn show. AEW doesn't have to fucking do anything. WWE is going to kill themselves. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Competition? There is no fucking competition against WWE. Why the fuck would AEW want to compete against a company that values The Undertaker, Brock Lesnar, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and other part-time old fucks that need to go fucking retire over upcoming superstars like The Revival, like the Usos, like fucking Seth Rollins, like Roman Reigns, like fucking Ricochet? Why would anybody in AEW even think about trying to compete with that? Because there's no competing. Nobody wants to see this shit. Nobody wants to truly see The Undertaker do anything other than have a semi-okay match. Nobody wants to see Brock fucking Lesnar. Them prioritizing Brock Lesnar over the likes of a Seth Rollins, an AJ Styles, a Ricochet, a Cedric Alexander, or anybody fucking else just shows you that there was never going to be fucking change in this goddamn company. Anybody who thought there was going to be change, you must fucking feel like a fucking fool. I knew it, you knew it. They're only figureheads, so nobody fucking bitches at Vince McMahon anymore. Vince McMahon got tired of being told that his ideas suck. And now, that's why Bischoff and Heyman are going to be in charge. Bullshit. We're going to take a little break here, and we're back to do the AEW Fight for the Fallen. And moving on to AEW's Fight for the Fallen. This show happened, of course, on Saturday from Jacksonville's Dowley's Place Amphitheater, right next to the stadium for the Jacksonville Jaguars. This, of course, drew about 5,000 people. This show was awesome. The amphitheater made the crowd reaction sound better. The music you can actually hear the superstars' music. I think that's something they need to work on when we get to TNT. But this show leagues better than what we saw tonight with Extreme Rules. Show started off with the buy-in, of course. Peter Avalon, the librarian, with Leva Bates versus Sonny Kiss. Somebody actually tweeted out, why is Sonny Kiss not in the title picture? Seriously, this person, he has a good gimmick and all that stuff. And I'm like, wait a minute. Sonny Kiss is hardly known by anybody. I did not know who Sonny Kiss was when Sonny Kiss walked out for the Double or Nothing rally they did back in January. I knew nothing about Sonny Kiss. I didn't know who the hell he was. It's like, you gotta hold on. Maybe in a year or two, Sonny Kiss could be in title contention, but for now, no. It would appeal to, it would make great press and whatnot. And it's like, first off, no. Sonny Kiss eventually could be in the AEW title picture if that's what they wanted to do. Hell, maybe he gets a tag team partner. Maybe he's in the tag team title picture. Who knows? But for now, he's a well unknown person by a lot of people. Unless you're from the areas wherever he works in the independents, you don't know who Sonny Kiss was. I didn't know who Sonny Kiss was. This was his first singles match in AEW. Yes, he was at the buy-in Battle Royal at Double Nothing. He did not work the Fyter Fest show. So this was just one of those things that they were getting him more acclimated and you getting to know him better. So not a problem with them. Like someone's like they were just like, oh, he should be in title contention. Not even close. Like Chris Jericho speaks for himself. Hangman Page was, I think, the only option they really had because of his affiliation with the Elite. I do not expect him to win it all out, but we'll get to that when we get there. So no, Sonny Kiss is not in anywhere close to being in a position to be in title contention by a long shot. This match was pretty good. Like Peter Avalon, out of the two librarians, I'd say Peter Avalon is a better librarian than Leva Bates. He came out with a robe, looking more Bobby Roode-ish. Maybe Bobby Roode should take pointers how to have. Maybe go to the library and figure out how to be a better, figure out a way to be in Vince McMahon's good graces, even though that book doesn't exist. But Peter Avalon came out. Then Sonny Kiss came out with a Jacksonville Jaguars custom-made jersey for him, with the cheerleaders of the Jaguars and the mascot, doing his dance routine and everything. Sonny Kiss ends up winning this one with a split leg drop from the top rope, or second rope, for the 1-2-3. Definitely a better match for the librarian gimmick over what Leva Bates did with Allie, and we'll get to Allie versus Brandy Rhodes later because that match was not good. We talked to Cody Rhodes and Dustin Rhodes backstage with Jen Decker, and then we had Britt Baker and Rio versus Bea Priestley and Shota Nakajima. Now, Britt Baker got a concussion in this match, coming out of this match. I don't know when it actually happened, but she ended up getting a concussion. I honestly could not tell during the match that she had a concussion. Usually you can tell that somebody's woozy, they're dizzy, they shouldn't be anywhere near the match. But Britt Baker, if she had a legit concussion, hit it so goddamn well. And Bea Priestley, I've known this woman, I've seen this woman wrestle since 2016 when she was in WCPW. The last woman standing match, I believe it was, between her and Nixon Newell, who is Tegan Nox in NXT, was short but brutal as hell in the fact that Tegan Nox gave her a stomp, a curb stomp on a chair, and a punt kick while she had her head in between that chair. Was absolutely brutal. I've been a fan of Bea Priestley. She is the girlfriend or fiance, whatever, of Will Ospreay. Great to see her in here. Over as fuck in Jacksonville. Obviously, I'm not the only one who is a fan of Bea Priestley. I don't know if everyone in Jacksonville has seen her wrestle. She did come out with her Stardom Championship. So, yeah, Bea Priestley is going to be a big fucking deal in this company. Britt Baker, within the first 5 minutes of this match, is going to be on Botchamania. There was a point in this match where it was Bea Priestley and Baker in the match. Bea Priestley was down. Baker, she might have been concussed the entire match because she ran over to try and tag in, but she ran to Bea Priestley's corner, and the opponent was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And she's like, "Oh, wrong corner." She runs over and tags in Rio. So definitely was not a good, not just like, maybe she was concussed from the start because she went over and tried to tag out because Bea Priestley and Nakajima were going back and forth between Baker and trying to keep her in the ring. And then she eventually runs into the wrong corner, goes to the corner and tags in Rio. And it was just kind of, it was funny. And it's like, yes, if you watch Botchamania, I'm pretty sure that's going to be the next one of the segments we're going to see that. There were a couple other botches in this match. It wasn't the best match on the show by a long shot. It was on the buy-in. It was great to see Bea Priestley in the ring. Can't wait to see what she does. Bayo with the running knee strike. Nakajima with a step-up Hurricane Rana for 1-2-3. Bea Priestley and Shota Nakajima are victorious in their debut. At post-match, Baker and Priestley go after each other a bit before Priestley smiles and heads to the back. Now, during this match, for whatever reason, I'm sitting there watching on VLR. My dad's over there watching him behind me on the couch. We're just watching this, and for some reason, the closed captions show up. Just start showing up. It's not even like ones that you would usually see. There was a black bar. They were just going all over the place. It was really weird. They did eventually come off as we went back with Jen to talk to Kip Sabian, who feels like says a lot of people seem to think it's about Paige, and Sabian is in to fill a spot. Sabian says he's not going to be a part of the roster and cash his checks. He continues that he's not the best from his country. He is one of the best in the world. He asks if he win over Paige will put him in the title contention. Sabian then takes the mic and tells Paige he doesn't have any animosity towards him, but him being involved in the elite, he's kind of handed things. Sabian says Paige has forgotten him and is just focused on Chris Jericho. Sabian says he hopes Paige defeats Jericho because he will be the first in line after he beats Paige later tonight. Then we get the usual Jim Ross being brought out to commentary. And we start this show off with MJF, Shawn Spears, Sammy Guevara versus Joey Janela, Darby Allin, and Jimmy Havoc. Big things out of this match is that MJF and Shawn Spears don't like each other because of what Shawn Spears did to Cody Rhodes. And Darby Allin has a bone to pick with Shawn Spears as well because Darby Allin feels, and Chris Family did have an interview with Darby Allin right before Fight for the Fallen, but it was posted yesterday or today that he feels like he got overshadowed. His match and the fact that he went to a draw with Cody got overshadowed by Shawn Spears. So that is something that was in this match. I believe it was, let's see. MJF and Spears get solid boos during the entrances, crowd with the Joey chant for Janela. MJF and Janela gets things started. MJF goes over to Shawn Spears and is like, hey Shawn, take some notes. And immediately gets dropped and hit with a drop kick. And neither of his teammates are too eager to tag in. And of course, Shawn Spears is just going like, good stuff there. Jimmy Havoc has not had his, I'm going to say this right now. I'm a fan of Jimmy Havoc. I mean, he's more of a deathmatch guy. He's more of a hardcore guy. But in the two matches that he's had, in singles matches, and the fact that they aren't hardcore matches or death matches, he hasn't had his best showings. I'm going to say that now. I'm hoping he can turn that around, but it's just like, it seems like he is pigeonholed to be a hardcore deathmatch guy, and I know he's not going to be able to do that every single time he goes out there, but he really hasn't done the best. Biggest thing coming out of this match is the fact that Shawn Spears, Janela Death Valley Driver on the apron, and he then yells, fuck you, Cornette. I don't know why. And flips off the camera. Back in the ring, Spears with a net breaker on Darby Allin. Big Death Valley Driver for the 1, 2, 3. Spears, MJF, and Sammy Guevara win the match. Spears with a smile on his face, giving the 10 taunt to the crowd, and then MJF looked like he is going to try and attack Spears. But MJF backs off. The biggest talking point about this is the fact that that Shawn Spears won the match and beat the guy that Cody could not. That is the big thing out of this match is the fact that Cody couldn't beat Darby, but Shawn Spears beat Darby. That is where that's going to. I fully expect Road to All Out to start this week, and we'll have that all the way up to the end of next month. And then, and only then, will we see, eventually we'll have Shawn Spears versus Cody announced for All Out. Shad Khan and Private Party are shown in the crowd. Alex Bailey is sitting next to Private Party when a security guy comes up and says, this is a private party, man, you gotta get out of here. And he pulls up Alex Bailey and escorts him away. I thought that was kind of funny, going off the private party, the gimmick of being a private party. So it's great to see Private Party. Hope to see them. They probably won't be at All Out unless they do some kind of big person match or something, but I fully expect to see them have a good showing in the tag team tournament when we get to TNT. I think the weakest match of the night, of course, was Brandy Rhodes versus Allie. The two shake hands when they both get out here, and out comes Awesome Kong. He strolls in. Allie looked a bit bothered by the move, but it's like, first off, and this is the thing that kind of got me about this, is the fact that at Double or Nothing, of course, leading up to Double or Nothing, Brandy Rhodes was on the phone with somebody asking them to be at Fight for the Fallen when he faces Allie. Okay, we get to Double or Nothing. We figure out that it's going to be Awesome Kong, and then Allie seems to be bothered about it, as well as the announcer, the commentary team, acts like Awesome Kong. I'm surprised she's even here. Even though you had Allie in your booth at Double or Nothing, and you guys were like, oh, it looks like this is going to be who's in Brandy's corner at Fight for the Fallen. It's like, why did they try to make it seem like Awesome Kong wasn't going to be there when it was kind of blatantly obvious? Again, this match was not good. I don't think Brandy Rhodes should be in the ring whatsoever. Awesome Kong gets the referee distracted as Ali has Brandy in a Dragon Sleeper. She's tapping out. Gets off her, goes over to the ref, argues with him. Goes back to get her eyes scratched out by Brandy as the referee's distracted again. Brandy with one of the worst spears I think I have ever seen. 1, 2, 3, and Brandy wins by pinfall. Brandy got her 15 minutes of fame. Brandy and Awesome attack Ali, but out comes Aja Kong. Aja Kong makes her way down to the ring in wrestling gear. Looks like she's ready to square up with Awesome. And both Kongs stare down. The referees get in the ring and separate the two. Brandy hops back in to pull Awesome Kong away. Aja walks over and helps her up, helps Ali up. So they're either teasing a tag team match between Awesome Kong and Brandy Rhodes and Aja Kong and Ali, or we're going to have a clash of the Kongs at All Out. One of those two things is going to happen. One of the most over matches, I think, of the night for like a tag team match would be the Dark Order, Jack Evans and Angelico versus Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. With Marco Stunt, Luchasaurus is got to be the most over guy in the company right now. He comes out, and before anything else happens, boom, this dude is getting Luchasaurus chance. And this guy has only had one match? One match, yeah. He had one match, but of course he was in Jungle Boy's corner at the Fatal 4-Way, which of course was won by Hangman Page. This match was absolutely fucking bananas. Jack Evans, Angelico, Jungle Boy, and the Dark Order was a hell in Luchasaurus. This was a hell of a match. Marco Stunt got involved later in the match, of course, hitting a Hurricane Rana on somebody, and Wrestling Inc. put a tweet out saying if AEW wants to be more sports oriented, that should have been a DQ when Marco Stunt got involved. In a normal 2-on-2 tag team match, that's the case, but this was a triple threat tag team match. There was no disqualification. We'll have a problem with that when we see the SCU Lucha Bros match later on, but we'll get to that in a bit. Dark Order ended up winning this match with a, what do they call it? They call it a fatality or whatever it is. Yeah, hits fatality. It's like Uno lifts Jungle Boy up on his shoulders. Grayson hits the fatality for the win. Dark Order via pinfall and will advance All Out to face the Best Friends, who they have been targeting since Double or Nothing. Like I said, if you want to see any match on on Fight for the Fallen, the triple threat match of the Dark Order, the Angelico, Jack Evans, and Luchasaurus Jungle Boy match is definitely a match you need to see. Hangman Page versus Kip Sabian. This match almost went the distance. It went 19 minutes and 3 or 7 seconds. This match was definitely, this was one of those matches like, I really didn't care about it as much because we knew Hangman Page was going to win. I wasn't the fact that I don't know much about Kip Sabian. It was one of those matches that if it didn't happen on Fight for the Fallen, I wouldn't have been mad about it. These guys, good back and forth matchup here. Hangman Page ends up winning with a Deadeye after a good multiple hits. He does sell the knee a good bit in this match. Dragon Screw leg whip on the ropes, springboard her into a Hurricane Rana by Sabian. Counters for 2 multiple spinning attempts. Page hits the Deadeye 1, 2, 3, and he wins. Post match, Dark Order Creeper comes in, and it is quite clear just by the look of the eyes who it is. He beats the heck out of Page, hits a code breaker, and when Jericho removes his mask, smiles. Page is busted open. Referee is trying to stop this. Jericho hits the Judas effect, and you see Hangman Page on this side right here, just fucking like he has blood everywhere, but like right around here, he has got a nasty, nasty bruise. Now with the thank you Jericho chant, he flips them off. They stop, but he heads to the back and the ref sends her bloody Page. Apparently, this was supposed to be what Chris Jericho grabs the mic and has his live mic section, but obviously that did not happen. That would happen later. Pentagon Jr. and Phoenix versus Scorpio Sky and Frankie Azarian, SCU. Lucha Bros SCU. This match was absolutely fucking great as well. I will have a little bit of a stinger for AEW because I cannot let them pass with this. During the beginning of the match, you had someone during the beginning of the match, Christopher Daniels on the outside. Pentagon and Phoenix go out and they attack him, hit him with a super kick. They take his shirt off. They hit him with a couple chops. Then you had Christopher Daniels with an Arabian moonsault off the top rope to the outside to both Lucha Bros. That should have been an automatic disqualification. I cannot let AEW pass on that. I don't care if the ref wanted to have a legit winner. That was a disqualification right there. This was not a no DQ match. This was not a false count anywhere match. This was not a specialty match where anything goes. This was a 2-on-2 match. This should have seen the team of SCU lose by disqualification. I cannot let them slide on that, period. Package power driver, double foot stomp, spike package power driver, 1, 2, 3 on Scorpio Sky. Lucha Brothers with pinfall. This was a damn good match. Daniels comes back in the ring to help and ends up eating a ladder from the Lucha Bros. They smack Kazarian with it as well. The ladder is set up in the middle of the ring, and the brothers climb up. They take the mic and get the crowd to do this Zero Miedo. And at top, Pentagon says they were the best tag team on the planet. And they have a message for the Young Bucks. They want a ladder match in Chicago at All Out for the AAA Tag Team Championships. Apparently. So, could we see a ladder match at All Out? I hope the fuck so. This was probably match of the night for me. I mean, Kenny Omega and Shima was good. Only not 2 matches, right? Yeah, Kenny Omega and Shima and the main event were good, but I like this match the best of them all. Then we had Kenny Omega versus Shima. Kenny Omega took a beating in this match. It looked like Shima multiple times. Meteors were going to get him the win. Unfortunately, towards the end of the match, he goes to run off the ropes, but his knees just buckle. V-trigger on Shima. Tiger Driver 98. 2, misses a V-trigger. Shima nearly gets a 3 count on a tricky roll-up. Lands another V-trigger. 1 winged angel. 1, 2, 3. Kenny Omega wins the match. Hell of a match right there. Definitely worth watching. Go check it out as well. Outside of Brandy versus Allie, you could check out, if you wanted to watch one match on this show, any match but the Brandy versus Allie match would actually be a damn good match to watch, including Peter Avalon versus Sonny Kiss, and Bea Priestley and her partner versus Britt Baker and Rio. Chris Jericho comes out and takes the mic and said he's looking at the blood on his hand of Adam Page. He had a little bit of blood by his tattoo. I was leaving on this hand. Says he still wants his thank you and not from the fans. He starts ripping onto the city and calls them Jooksonville, and then he calls them Jackoffville. Says he get his thank you by beating everyone in AEW, starting with Page. Jericho says if it wasn't here, the fans wouldn't be here. They'd be turning in cans for change. He said TNT deal is due to him. Says he watched the Battle Royal to see who would eventually face, and it ended up being Page. Jericho says he's one of the best performers he's seen in years. He stays up at night worrying about this match because if he wins, it's just another notch in his belt. But if he loses, it's going to be not just the beginning of the end for AEW, but the beginning of the end of the illustrious career of Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho was asked in the scrum later on why did he show much respect to his opponent at All Out, and he said it is something that he learned when in like 1995 or something, that just because you're going up against somebody, you're cutting a promo on somebody, you should show respect to that person. If they're a great in-ring performer, this is the same thing Daniel Bryan does, and like when he went up with AJ Styles. He is a heel, but he would go in and he'd talk about, AJ Styles is one of the best out there, and he could be, either one of us could win this match, but I'm going to have to be better than AJ Styles. Jericho, same thing with Adam Page. This is how you build intrigue. This is how you build a fucking match. You go out there, you have a heel go out there and be like, I'm going to need to be better than this person. This person is at the top of their game, but I have to be better. And Jericho does that. Fucking awesome right there. Derek wonders where he'll go from there if he does lose, so he has to beat the Hangman. Jericho says at All Out he will be the champion, and without him, AEW wouldn't exist. He then says Paige is nothing but a little bitch, and Paige touches the ring, takes down Jericho, and the referees try to pull them away. Paige takes out some of the officials. Now the wrestlers have to come and stop them. Jericho ends up on the floor and makes his way to the stage. Avalon is out there in the crowd, is shushing as Jericho heads backstage. Paige is still pissed off, and he makes his way back. By the way, the way they had the amphitheater set up is that they had the stage up with a bunch of fans. There was talk about them possibly putting the ring on the stage, which would have been an absolute mistake if they even thought about that, because that would have limited to what they could have done. So they had the stage, and then they had the ring, and they had a ramp from the ring to the entranceway, and they only had one pipe this time instead of two, which I'm much better with. Cody and Dustin versus the Young Bucks, main event time. This match was absolutely fun. It wasn't the best match of the night. And a lot of people seem to be down this match because they expected a Young Bucks match and not a Cody and Dustin match. They expected a new school match, not an old school match. But in my opinion, this is good for the Young Bucks because it shows them as more than just one-trick ponies. That is the thing. It's like the Young Bucks are usually known for high flying and crazy shit like that. A match like this shows that they are more than just one-trick ponies, and I'm actually fine with that. They shake hands. Cody and Nick shake hands as they start. Apparently, Nick and Cody are the younger, the two brothers, which that was cool to have. That's the way they started. Couple of stealing each other's moves, stealing each other's mannerisms and stuff. You know, the drop down uppercuts by Cody and Dustin, the super kicks. There's both teams traded those at one time. Dustin came out with a weight belt for Cody that said Brotherhood on the back with the Nightmare Family logo. I believe it was Matt that took that to the back with a belt whip from Cody. That should have been a DQ too, I'm just saying. But, yeah, definitely interesting there. Cody ends up taking the pinfall with the Meltzer driver for the 1-2-3. Post-match, Matt takes the mic and says he knows they've been making fun of Cody and Dustin, but it has been all in the spirit of competition. Nick and Matt say they've all been wrestling all over the world and said they've heard Myth of the Rhodes Brother. Matt said he doesn't watch much of the other products, so he didn't get to see much of their work. Matt said Cody and Dustin were one of the best tag teams they ever got in the ring, and they got cut off because they were running short on time. Out comes Brandy Rhodes, Kenny Omega, Shad Khan, and other talent, Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, and a couple others. They show off the check and raise $150,000 for victims of gun violence. Rhodes says you can't counter program what All Elite Wrestling is doing. Rhodes then asks the crowd if they're coming with them when they hit TNT this fall. Cody says he doesn't have a signature sign-off line, so he passes it to Kenny Omega, who slightly adjusts his sign-off instead of saying bang. He says boing. He made a joke. He's like, I don't know if this is going to be on TV or not. This is usually the stuff that we don't get to see on pay-per-view or on TV, and the fact that they were on VR Live only. They can get away with this. But overall, really, really good show. If you want to go out there and check a show out, Fight for the Fallen is the way to go. I didn't see Evolve. I might check out Evolve. I'm not sure. But Fight for the Fallen, definitely a show. Extreme Rules, C-. Just going to say it like that. An A for Fight for the Fallen. Brandy versus Ali brings it down from an A+. Extreme Rules, C-. If it wasn't for the Brock Lesnar stuff, it probably would have not gone any higher than a C+. C- for Extreme Rules, a solid A for Fight for the Fallen. But that is all for your double review. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video. Find me on Twitch and Twitter at the France Club, and I will see you guys tomorrow for what is supposed to be the new era of Monday Night Raw and Tuesday for SmackDown Live. Until then, my name is Franz, and I will see you guys later.